Prince William just did something no modern royal has done before. He did not hide behind a spokesperson. He did not release a carefully written palace note. He spoke clearly, in public, and without apology. He addressed one of the most powerful officials in Europe directly and criticized her position in a way that shocked political circles. The moment his words were heard, leaders across Europe began paying close attention. Phones rang in Brussels. Advisors gathered quickly. Officials who believed Britain was too divided or too cautious to respond strongly started to rethink that belief. This was not a casual remark. It was not symbolic. Prince William spoke with clear intent. And many across Europe are now trying to understand what his message could mean. To understand why his statement caused such strong reactions, you have to look at what led up to it. This situation did not begin with trade arguments, borders, or fishing rights. It reportedly began after comments from European political figures questioning the role and influence of King Charles III in matters connected to Europe. According to public debate surrounding the issue, figures linked to Ursula von der Leyen and members of the European Commission made remarks suggesting that the British monarch holds no constitutional authority within European political structures. Some critics interpreted those comments as dismissive of the monarchy's traditional and symbolic role. These statements were viewed by many in the UK as disrespectful toward an institution that has existed for over 1,000 years. It is important to be clear, the British monarch does not directly govern European policy. The monarchy is largely ceremonial in political matters. However, symbolism matters in international relations. For many British citizens, the crown represents history, identity, and national continuity. So when public comments appeared to question the monarchy's relevance or legitimacy in European discussions, it triggered strong reactions. Prince William did not stay silent. He responded directly. He referred to Ursula von der Leyen as unelected, pointing out that the President of the European Commission is chosen by EU member state governments and approved by the European Parliament, rather than elected directly by all European citizens through a continent-wide public vote. His statement focused on transparency and democratic processes, not personal attacks. He then added something that drew even more attention. He said that the UK would review its existing arrangements and agreements with European partners if respect between institutions was not maintained. That does not mean immediate cancellation of deals. It means reassessment. But even the suggestion of reviewing agreements was enough to create concern. Inside Brussels, discussions reportedly intensified. Trade experts began examining potential economic impacts. Britain remains an important market for European industries. German car manufacturers such as Volkswagen, BMW, and Mercedes-Benz export large numbers of vehicles to the UK each year. Any new trade barriers, delays, or tariffs could affect profits and jobs. France also has strong economic ties with Britain. French wine producers, agricultural exporters, and luxury brands rely on British consumers. The UK market represents billions in trade. Any disruption would have consequences on both sides of the channel. However, it is equally important to understand that economic relationships are complex and interdependent. The UK also exports goods and services to Europe. Any serious breakdown would affect both parties. That is why many analysts believe cooler heads will likely prevail. What made the situation more serious in political terms was the symbolism of Prince William's involvement. The royal family traditionally avoids direct political confrontation. So when a senior royal publicly comments on international governance structures, it sends a message. Whether one agrees or disagrees with his tone, it was unusual. Meanwhile, King Charles III himself did not immediately respond publicly. Buckingham Palace maintained its usual careful silence. That silence can mean many things: consultation, strategic patience, or simply a decision not to escalate further. In reality, modern diplomacy rarely operates through dramatic endings or sudden collapses. It moves through negotiations, statements, and recalibrations. Public rhetoric can be strong, but long-term relationships are usually shaped behind closed doors. What happens next depends on whether both sides choose escalation or dialogue. The UK and the European Union share deep economic, cultural, and security ties. Those ties cannot be erased overnight. The real question is not whether one speech changed Europe. The real question is whether this moment becomes a turning point in tone, or simply another chapter in the ongoing post-Brexit adjustment between Britain and the European Union. And as leaders continue private discussions, observers across Europe and the UK are watching closely to see what role, if any, King Charles III will choose to play next. Why had Buckingham Palace not released a calming statement? Why had no royal advisor quietly reached out to ease tensions behind the scenes, as usually happens? And what did Prince William mean when he said Britain had not yet used its strongest card? The silence from Buckingham Palace did not look accidental. It looked intentional. Experienced political observers across Europe understood that silence can be powerful. When an institution as historic as the British monarchy stays quiet during controversy, it does not usually mean confusion. It often means a decision has already been made at the highest level. Many analysts believed that King Charles III was not rushing to react in panic. Instead, his position appeared clear through the actions of his son. Prince William had spoken strongly, and there was no sign that the king disagreed or asked him to step back. That detail changed the entire tone of the situation. There is a big difference between a future king speaking personally and a future king speaking with the quiet support of the reigning monarch. If Prince William had the full awareness of King Charles III, then the message was not personal frustration. It represented the crown itself choosing to respond. The House of Windsor did not look defensive. It looked steady, confident. This is an institution that has survived wars, political crises, and centuries of change. From that perspective, a dispute with Brussels may not seem overwhelming. Meanwhile, inside 10 Downing Street, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak faced a complicated situation. His approach toward Europe after Brexit had focused on stability and careful negotiation. His strategy depended on keeping relations steady and respectful. But the recent comments from European figures disrupted that balance. Within hours, Rishi Sunak called an emergency cabinet meeting. The discussion was not about whether Britain should respond. That debate had already shifted because of Prince William's statement and the palace's silence. The real question was how strong Britain's response should be. Trade officials were reportedly instructed to review existing agreements with European Union member states. This did not automatically mean canceling deals. It meant carefully examining them, line by line, to understand Britain's options and level of dependence. Early assessments suggested that the UK might have more flexibility than many had assumed. Economic relationships between Britain and Europe are deeply connected, but they are also two-sided. Both depend on each other in important areas. Germany quickly became part of the conversation. German car manufacturers such as BMW, Volkswagen, and Mercedes-Benz export significant numbers of vehicles to the UK. Any trade disruption could affect German industry and employment. German leaders were already managing economic challenges, so additional uncertainty was unwelcome. France also had reasons to pay attention. French agricultural producers, wineries, and luxury brands rely on British consumers. Products like French cheese, wine, and spirits represent major exports. French officials were reportedly concerned that rising tensions could hurt long-standing economic ties. Reports suggested that calls were made from Paris to Brussels expressing concern about escalation. These discussions were less about political pride and more about economic impact. But beyond trade and politics, something else was happening inside Britain. Many members of the British public did not view the situation as just another political disagreement. For them, it touched on national identity. The monarchy in the United Kingdom plays a largely ceremonial role in governance, but it carries deep cultural meaning. It appears in national ceremonies, sporting events, traditions, and historical memory. For many citizens, it represents continuity. Online discussions reflected unusual unity. People with different political views, including both Brexit supporters and opponents, expressed support for King Charles III and approval of Prince William's firm response. It was rare to see agreement across such a divided political landscape. In Brussels, Ursula von der Leyen and her team were closely monitoring reactions. A clarification statement was released, but it did little to calm debate. The British government continued reviewing agreements. The royal family did not publicly step back. Public support in Britain remained strong. And then there was the statement from Prince William that Britain had not yet used its strongest option. What did that mean? Was it economic leverage? Diplomatic pressure? Strategic alliances? No official explanation was given. Buckingham Palace remained quiet. In modern international politics, silence can create as much tension as direct action. When powerful institutions choose not to clarify their next move, observers speculate. Markets watch. Governments calculate risks. Whether this moment becomes a serious turning point or simply another phase in post-Brexit negotiations remains to be seen. The UK and the European Union remain closely linked through trade, security, and geography. Major disruptions would affect both sides. For now, the strongest message may not be what was said publicly, but what has not yet been said at all.